Could the Vikings be involved in the next NFL blockbuster trade? Let's talk about it. Coming up on today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 players that I believe the Vikings could trade for before the start of the 2023 NFL season. And guys, I got some interesting and big-time names on this list, so make sure you guys stick around because we all know Kwesi, maybe this is finally the move where he kind of consolidates his assets and goes all in, and maybe the Vikings finally go on this kind of Super Bowl run here. But my name is Patrick Seaman. Welcome in. And, guys, before we get into it, before I get to my 5 names, we're having a race to 100 subscribers. The Vikings actually take on the Titans this week, Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Time. We're actually going to be live for that game 30 minutes before kickoff, so make sure you guys tune in as well. But, guys, we have a sub battle. We're doing a race here from our against our Titans Today show, a race to 100 subscribers. So make sure you guys subscribe. Help us win this battle, and give you guys an update on the battle and see if we won later on in the week. So subscribe, lock us in, and you guys won't regret it at all. Let's talk about it. Number 1 name on my list is probably one of the best players in the entire NFL, and that's Mr. Aaron Donald, number 99 from the Los Angeles Rams. And I know what you're saying, man, how could they possibly trade for Aaron Donald? There's no way. Well, maybe the Rams are sitting back and saying, let's try to, kind of go on a little fire sale here and kind of get, boot up a rebuild or maybe a reboot in L.A. Maybe they could be looking to move off their star defensive lineman. But there's no doubt, Aaron Donald probably been the best defensive player in the league over the last 4 seasons. Last year, obviously with injuries and the Rams not being that good, his numbers are down. But just what he does at the interior of a defensive line, Vikings fans, we know what Akeem Hicks did to us when he was with the Chicago Bears and how dominant he was. Well, imagine Akeem Hicks times 100. That is Aaron Donald. Anytime an interior defensive lineman could put up double-digit sacks consistently while also getting doubled and triple-teamed, because, hey, it's a lot easier, the double-teamed interior defensive lineman in comparison to edge guys, because you guys can just go a little center guard combo, and then Aaron Donald, he's still able to beat it. And overall, this would take this defense to another level. I just think, Aaron Donald, I understand, it's very unlikely the Vikings actually pull this off. But if there's, one player that could actually take this Vikings defense from maybe a bottom 10-ish team to possibly a top 12 defense, it's number 99, and it's Aaron Donald. And I would actually be open to the Vikings maybe giving him a first and a second for him, kind of going all in because, guys, being aggressive wins. Being aggressive in the modern-day NFL, that's what gets it done. And I kind of want Kwesi, though, consolidate some assets, go all in here, and go try to get a guy like Aaron Donald because he would absolutely change this defense. And I'll tell you what, Brian Flores, he would get the most out of him as well. Maybe AD's got one more Super Bowl run in him, one more season where he kind of gives it his all and tries to get another Super Bowl ring. Maybe he could do it in Minnesota. But I'll ask you guys, would you trade a first-round pick for Aaron Donald? Obviously, he's got a big-time contract, a little older in his NFL career, so giving up a first would be a lot. But you guys got to let me know. This would be the pin comment on today's video. Would you trade a first-round pick for Aaron Donald? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no down in the comment section. Budda Baker next up on this list, the safety out of the Arizona Cardinals. And there have been reports that Budda is unhappy with his contract and he wants to get paid like the highest paid safety in the NFL. And with the Vikings, with Harrison Smith being a little older and maybe not having any other proven talents, we obviously have the young guys in Scene, Metellus, and Cam Bynum, maybe they could be looking around at Budda Baker as the key piece to kind of wrap up this Vikings secondary room. But over the past 4 seasons, he's one of the better tackling safeties in the league. He is the true definition of a versatile safety. That's why I also think, Brian Flores, he's going to excel with a guy like Beeflo if the Vikings would trade for him. What he does, Budda Baker, you can put him in the box, you can put him in a deep zone, you can blitz him off the edge. He can really, really do it all, and he's an athletic freak. A safety back in that 2019 year, 147 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 6 pass breakups. That's just frankly ridiculous. And listen, I get this Viking safety room. I love the young guys. I love Cam Bynum. I love Lewisine. I love Josh Metellus. But who knows? Maybe Kwesi's just saying, hey, those guys can take another step back next season, and let's bring in a guy like Budda Baker. But I would kind of have to disagree with that. I kind of want the Vikings to ride with what they have. Lewisine, our first-round pick from last season. Let's see what he's got. He obviously suffered that left compound fracture or left leg compound fracture last season against the Saints. And then obviously Josh Metellus. We've heard all the hype around him around training camp, that Brian Flores loves his intelligence, loves his versatility and everything. So I would be cool with the Vikings just kind of sitting back, riding with what they have. Maybe you could pull off this trade midway through the year. If the Cardinals are struggling and Budda still wants out, maybe you're not getting the most out of that safety room, maybe you go pair Budda Baker next to a guy like Harrison Smith. You could still rotate in guys like Cine and Metellus as well. But Budda Baker, name to keep your eye on in just the NFL trade rumors world because, he definitely wants to get out of Arizona, and I don't really blame him whatsoever. Next up on my list is, I think, probably the biggest, I would say biggest position of need for the Vikings defense. I would probably go edge. I just think this Vikings, edge group, you got the top end guys like Daniil Hunter and Marcus Davenport. I think they're going to do a very solid job this year and kind of setting the tone for that edge group. But then you got guys like Patrick Jones, DJ Wanham, guys I like but don't necessarily love. And I think depth at that position, it wouldn't hurt at all. I love thinking about this. You look at past Super Bowl champions, right? Look at past Super Bowl champs. Remember the Bucs when they beat the Chiefs that year? They had 3 or 4 edge rushers. Then you get to the Rams the following year. They had Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, all these guys. You can never have too many edge rushers because you want to keep them fresh. You want to be able to rotate those guys in and out. If we're talking most important positions in the NFL, it's probably quarterback and then probably edge rusher. I'd probably go 2 on my list. And you could obviously throw in, obviously receivers have had a huge, emergence lately. But, edge rushers, you can never have too many. So more depth would not hurt at all. But, guys, grade the Vikings edge room for me. Get a little back-to-school time. Bring out the red pens. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F. Give me a letter grade for the Vikings edge room. I'd probably go a solid B right now because I like Daniil Hunter. I want to see what he's going to do on the floors. Who knows? Maybe you got to have another 15 or 14 and a half sack season again. But grade the Vikings edge room. A, B, C, D, or F. Number 4 on my list is a guy that's been connected to the Vikings for a very long time now, and that is Patrick Queen. I was originally sort of against trading for Patrick Queen just because obviously you guys know I love Ivan Pace and Brian Asamoah, but I'm kind of starting to turn my head on this because I do think Patrick Queen, what he would offer this Vikings linebacker room is just some top-end talent. I love Asamoah and Pace. You guys know this, but Patrick Queen was a first-round pick. Asamoah was taken in the 3rd round. Ivan Pace was an undrafted free agent. Patrick Queen is a top-end talent, and that's why I would be all in on the Vikings trading for Queen. Would it be for a first, or would I do it for a first? Probably not. But for a second or a third, or maybe a second and a third, you could really convince me. I think Patrick Queen is a tremendous talent we have in this league, and I think the middle linebacker position has become undervalued because they are the anchor. They are the wearing the green dot. They are the quarterback of the defense. And could you imagine if the Vikings are running a 4-3 base any given Sunday where they're going Patrick Queen in the middle, Brian Asamoah and Ivan Pace on the sides? That would be absolutely disgusting. So I'd be in on trading for Patrick Queen. And out of anybody on this list, I choose Patrick Queen as the number 1 guy I would want to bring in. But number 5, we're going to talk about it because he is a big name that's on the trade circle, and it's Jonathan Taylor, another running back. I know the Vikings just moved off their star running back, so could they possibly be trading for another star running back? I don't necessarily think so. And I'll just ask this question because the streets are talking right now. Is he better than Ty Chandler? No, obviously Jonathan Taylor is better than Ty Chandler, but you guys know I'm a big fan of Ty Chandler. I want to see what him and Madison got to do. And I wouldn't want the Vikings to bring in a guy where you're going to have to pay a ton, and he's also going to take reps away from guys I want to see develop. I just think there's no reason at all for the Vikings to go in on a running back whatsoever. If there's any running back that's on the market, I don't care who he is, because mainly that's not Kevin O'Connell's style. What KOC did back with the Los Angeles Rams when he was there with Sean McVay and everything, they always had a running back by committee. They were always keeping legs fresh. And I'd rather have a more of a split backfield most of the season than maybe if you find a guy that gets hot for the playoffs, but it just keeps their legs fresh. Because, we saw it last year with Dalvin Cook. He got up there to over 250 carries, and then his production just hit a steep hill, and he fell off a cliff a little bit. So I would rather have the Vikings go more by committee, more split between Ty Chandler, Madison, get Kene Wong with some touches, even get a guy like Dwayne McBride some touches here and there. I'm out on trading for a guy like Jonathan Taylor. Well, I ask you guys, name a player that you guys want the Minnesota Vikings to trade for. Maybe you're Quasey, and maybe you're playing a little Madden franchise, and you want a guy or maybe a position group that the Vikings should trade for. Give me a name down in the comments section. Give me a player that the Vikings should trade for before the season starts. And always, guys, hit that subscribe button, lock us in. Season's just around the corner. We have real football soon enough. Can't wait for week 1 against Tampa, and then I can't wait for week 2 in Philly on that Thursday night. We're going to beat producers Chip's Eagles into the ground. We're going to get the best out of them. I got a good feeling about it this year. But, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, lock us in. Any news and rumors around the team, we'll keep you covered. As always, Skol Vikes.